I'm going back and I'm looking at guys that have won the Heisman from the SEC. You look at Joe Burrow, Cam Newton, Tim Tebow, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield. You were the first freshman to ever win it, and you accumulated an SEC record then, 4,600 yards of total offense. Where would you put yourself if we're having a college? And I'm not going to the NFL because obviously the guys with the prototypical size. But where would you think Johnny Manziel's Heisman Trophy season would rank among those guys?
Behind Burrows.
Behind Burrow, but in front of Cam?
No.
What about?
I would say, for me, in my opinion, Joe Burrow's is probably the best Heisman season to ever happen, and that's just like, look at the numbers. Like, it's not even a comparison.
For me, it's him or Barry,
and the swagger and what he did it with, and I think it's a no-brainer. I think, I agree. Him and Barry somewhere up there at the top, stand alone type of thing. Cam, for me, is of cultural importance, and coming in from Blinn Junior College and going to Auburn, I remember that, and then they played the team Oregon that I was committed to at the time.
Right.
So it leaves an impact and a memory on me, and I love Cam Newton.
Right.
To the max. Love what he stands for. Love what he's about. Love him to death, and always have. He knows that, and so I think you go Joe Burrow. I think you go Cam, and then I'm right below that. And I respect Bakers and Kylers, and you can nitpick all this all you want, because at the end of the day, it's all about getting to that stage in New York and getting that trophy.
Right.
Now you're splitting hairs on who's greater than who, and all collectively as a whole, we're fucking badass.
Right. You win the Heisman as a freshman. You come back your sophomore year, and you have some issues. We start the season off with, well, it's reported that Johnny Manziel signed 4,000 items and this and that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, Johnny signed 4,000 items for free. So, Johnny, why put yourself in that situation where it could be allegedly?
I got a head on my shoulders, man. I'm smart enough to know what's going around me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing the money fly around me.
Right.
Not like I'm not walking through that same bookstore watching those number 2 jerseys fly off the shelf.
Break me off.
Where am I cut? It's everywhere else for everybody else.
Yes.
I got $700 a month coming in on stipend. That ain't enough for me to do what I want to do.
You need 7 bands a month coming in, huh?
I need 70 bands.
70 bands? Come on.
7?
70?
How the hell am I travel to Miami with 7 bands? What are we doing with 7 bands here? I need 70.
Wow. Let me ask you this. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, when Johnny Manziel, his Heisman Trophy season and the season after, the NIL is in existence. How much Johnny football get?
Probably $10 million a year. I could have done 5 on my own with the Instagram. I could have done $5 million a year on my own just through the people and connections I had on my phone.
Right.
That's what a lot of people don't understand, is during this time and during this rise, and a lot of where my downfall probably came from is, I get on my phone and get on Twitter and be like, yo, Shannon Sharpe just followed me. Come on, James Harden, Drake, LeBron.
And you partying with them.
I'm a DM away from being Rockets courtside. I'll be there in an hour and a half. My access that I had to the world and people that I wanted to be around was limitless with just my cell phone in a house in College Station.
Had Johnny Manziel been a little bit more discreet, you probably still could have got that 10. But because IG and you posting it, you at Live and you at all these places with the star, they're like, man, ain't no way in hell no college athlete has that kind of access unless he getting broke off.
My family's rich.
Yeah, and so see, you play to it because you could use that, Johnny doing that. Man, Johnny wouldn't take no money, his family rich. Well, little did they know, Johnny ain't worth $50 million like being reported.
Correct. So, I wasn't discreet at that point in my life.
Not at all.
I wasn't calculated. I wasn't precise in how I was moving. I was 19 years old.
Right.
I don't know nothing about the real way of the world.
Right.
I don't know nothing about what happens in Miami.
Right.
I'm a young, naive kid out here trying to get a bag on my own.
Right.
I don't know nothing. And I can't tell my parents. I can't tell my coaches. I don't got nobody to bounce this information off of. You know, this is the point where I start like reclusing to myself. And like, big problem in my life, Shannon, has been I wake up every day for the last 10, 12 years and do exactly as I please and exactly as I want every single day. And as I'm moving forward in my life right now, I believe that as a man in life, to humble yourself and to be able to get to where you want to go, you have to do things that you don't want to do.
Right.
You have to do things that make you uncomfortable. You can't just wake up and go down this path of la-di-da, I'm going to do everything as I please in that moment of time. That's going to make you soft. That's going to make you got all these things that come with that, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If you go out and put yourself in uncomfortable situations, if you go out and work hard for what you want, which isn't the most glorified way all the time,
mm-hmm.
you know, it's not fun to go work hard and put your time and your effort into something, especially something you may not really love truly deep down to your core. So, you know, what I've learned in life is, you know, make yourself uncomfortable. Do things that you don't want to do to help others. You know, be selfless.
Mm-hmm.
Find a way to give back more than just thinking about yourself. And I'm sitting here today saying at 19 years old, I was only about self. You know, that first year as my Heisman year, there was a lot less of that. I had my camaraderie with the team. I was a leader. I was there for my dogs. And then as that shifts, I became a bad teammate. I became a bad role model. I became a bad example for what a Texas A&M University football player should be, and an ambassador for my school at that point in time. And I still to this day hold a lot of shame about things that I did from 19 to 27, 28 years old. Shame, Shannon. To where I couldn't sleep at night, to where I went into the LA and the Hollywood Hills and I hid from everybody except the TMZ cameras in the middle of the night. And that, for me, has taken a decade to come to terms with what happened in my life and what I did to myself. Because at the end of the day, I don't have anybody to blame but myself. My mom and dad didn't raise me to be that. And Coach Sumlin or Coach Kingsbury or any of those guys at Texas A&M didn't raise me to be that way. My teammates sure as hell didn't push me down that path of being there. So why did it happen? You know, those are the questions that have taken me a decade to find out what makes me who I am. And coming to terms and accepting who I am. The good, okay, great, that's awesome. That's unequivocally me. The bad, okay, let's find out and identify what that is and be better bit by bit, day by day, to ensure that what happened in the past ain't gonna happen again moving forward.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we like to do something before two something.